because the task ahead was. Huh? I hope before I could. It's now that it's showing that it's recorded and everything, but we'll still manage. And I want to know how far have you been able to run your code? I think, Mr. Fonobo, have you been able to rectify your issue with your snake game? Who has tried it out? And please, I'd like you guys to share your screen. Let's see what you have done. Maybe screen recording or anything at all to just know. Because the next thing we're going to go might be a little bit complicated, and I would like to look at another approach to making it faster enough. I don't know if anybody has. Mr. Fonobon, please confirm that you have rectified your issue.
I haven't though, so I haven't. I'm still working on it.
What's really the problem? I hope you did not run it on Colab because Colab does not have those features that we need to.
No, no, no. I've not run yours on Jupyter Lab yet, Sha.
Ed,
For
okay, just try running it on Jupyter Lab
yeah,
and my own code I sent to you, the one we have been using so far. Just run it
yes.
and let's see what you have. Then
Okay,
it just if it runs correctly, you just look at your own codes and check it out what might be the issue. Because it
okay.
could be a little thing as a comma or
Oh
a
yeah, or space or something. Yeah.
yeah. So it's very important that you code that
Okay,
well.
I'll do
So
that. I'll do that this evening. I'm on my way
okay.
home, so I'll do that. Yeah.
Okay. Emedion, how are you? I've not really heard your voice these few days. How far? Have you tried the snake game?
Good evening, everybody. Yes, I have.
Is it working for you?
Yes, yes, it
Okay,
works.
okay, it's good. Okay. Um okay. Mr. Sunday, how far? How far with the code?
Yeah, I haven't, but I will do it tonight. I haven't. I've not really been chance to do it. I will do it tonight.
Okay. All right. Okay, there's no problem. Okay. Dr. Solomon, how far? How is it going over there? Have you been able to try something, Dr. Solomon?
Yeah, good evening
Yes, good evening, sir.
once again. Yeah, I think with Dr. Femi, we're able to run it and it runs smoothly thanks to Dr. Femi.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much for trying it out. And wonderful. So, well, as I said, we're going to find another way of making it faster for us to make sure that we finish it up either today or tomorrow. So we'll just try. Though I really have a limited time. I only want to step out and get set. I have an interview to conduct tomorrow morning as fast as soon as well. Like I need to be up and doing then, and I just came back just now. So we just have just few minutes. I need to just get myself up for the interview tomorrow. I need to interview some persons tomorrow, and I'm just coming back, and I don't even know where to even begin. And so let's just have something doing. Let's see what we can actually come up with. So the next approach I want to do right now is I want to make sure that I put everything in the global variable so that anything we need in this particular snake game is already installed, like it's already on that same page, the first page that we have. So and we'll be going that step by step now. Definitely would definitely try to test run it along the way. But let's see how we can first of all fix that global variable and what are the things you feel we need and the things we should also remove as well. So I'll be sharing my screen as well. I think this particular way I actually want to make it faster enough. So I'll be sharing my screen and let's see what you can come up with. At some point it might hang at some point because of what I'm running. This particular thing I'm running it's work related and really making it slow. So I hope you guys can see my screen. Yes, I believe so. So I'll be going to where do we have the project? So let's see. Really, really slow. Okay, so we have the build up here. Okay, so this so far what you have done, and So we're going to import the right module, and also we're also going to look at the global variable itself. So let's see what we need. In this particular snake game, I'm very sure that apart from direction, apart from time, apart from total size, who else can suggest with what we did here? I just want answers. We could actually come up with your own ideas. What do you think we need in this particular global variable that we'll need to access it from the very inside the blocks of codes that we have? So if you go to let me try, it's really slow. Okay, so let me try and run this. Just look at, you can see some things here. You can see, let me try to run some things. Let's see how we can make that possible. So we start the kernel. Oh, oh, I know something is running here, but really, I need to remove some things here. I need to remove, let me delete this. Okay, something here is running here. Oh, it's really affecting my system. Well, guys, okay, you can see here. So this is what we are trying to build, but we need some things on the variable variable side. What have we? What do you think we have not put here that we still need? Okay, okay, all right. So I will stop here for now. So in this particular build up that we have here, we can come up with ideas. What do you think we actually need in this particular? We have so far what we have done. Let's run it. Let's run it and see. Oh. I'm not even seeing what you're looking for. Let me delete some things. I really need to, I think I need this. Still converting. I've not seen a total pop-up screen. I think it's in between here, but I don't know why it's not coming up. I think it's what is going on in the background. So okay, it's up here. Oh, really slow. It's really slow. So let's cancel it and try it again. Let me run it again. Oh. And I can't stop this project. I can't. I really can't because I've gone too far to end it, and it's really consuming my space. And the client needs it tomorrow. I don't know what to do right now. It's really taking time to do. Okay. So okay, even with that, let's just the snake head has not even come out since then, and it's not even moving. It's going to take time. So let's just find a way to uh help ourselves. Maybe because I can't really stop this project right now. I'm really sorry about that because it's something that it's needed at the office, and you know how it is. Work comes first before I'll come to teach Albion, and all of a sudden I don't have a job anymore. So I don't know. Let's come up with something ideas that we actually. What are the things? If you look at these particular variables that we need, this is where we are going to get all the things we need to put it inside each of the functions that we are going to create. So far, we have done that enough, and it's wonderful for us. So I want you to come up with ideas. Okay, Dr. Payemi's hand is up. What do you think we need? Okay.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening,
I
everyone.
think we'll need to add food for the
fantastic.
snake.
We need the food of the snake.
And then maybe we
Fantastic.
might need code to code, like color code the food, maybe food color. something like that.
Food color. We need the food. We also need the color as well. Thank you very much for trying it out. So we're going to put that too, and we're going to find a way to make sure that it comes out there. So any other person looking at the snake game, the normal snake game that we know, what are the things we should add? Is it the look at this the look at your own snake game before now? May not really code much tonight because of what is going on with my screen. Like it's really slow. It has never been this slow. Yesterday was if I had hosted a class yesterday, it could have been so terrible because what I was running. Okay, Mr. Sunday.
I think we need when the game will be terminated.
When the
So
game will be
maybe
terminated, okay. But
when the
those are
person.
things. Those are the things we. Yes, okay. There's no problem. We're going to also need that as well. But I think it actually that one comes in the width and the height because by the time it gets to a particular point, if it hits the width or the height of a particular screen, it has to do what it has to say. That's it for now. So that's a nice one. Thank you very much. Any other person that wants to try out? So looking at the screen of this snake game, we need something like we need the scoreboard. We need something that can show you the score. We also need something that let's look at it now. Let's play, let's try to run it if it's going to allow us to run. So let's run it again. Let's see. This slow. It has never been this slow. He is well really well. Second time. Mm, mm, mm. Huh? Guys, apologies for that. See, this one is coming out. So let's see. We have something like score. We have high score somewhere. So look at it very well. Look at this very well. What do you think we need? We can see this particular thing is moving and it's moving at a particular range. It's moving at a particular range. So we need something known as the range, the X range and the what, the Y range. And this particular one is going to be aligned to the what? X range. X range is always, when it talks about X range, it means that we're actually going to make use of the width of the screen, which originally we set it to be 600 then. And we're also looking at the X range, which is going to be, remember when we said that if it's a particular kind of X range, it's going to be X minus a particular kind of size. That is the total size, which already we set it to 20. And by the time we set that particular X range, it means that the game itself that is moving, it means we are going to divide it by 2 because we're looking at the radius. I don't know if you're trying to, if you get what I'm saying. This particular screen has a particular kind of diameter, and by the time we want to move it, we are dividing the screen into left and right, up and down. Means that the left side is minus x, and the left side is minus x, then the right side is positive x. The upside of this particular game is going to work with the height, the range of it, the y range of it is going to work with the height, which is the y itself, the y axis, and we're also going to work with the total size, which is what, 20. So anything that we do, we want to put it in kind of like a radius, the left and right. So we're going to be working with that. So how do we get to the diameter, to the radius? We divide it by 2. So we need X range as well. We need the shapes, which already put, we need colors, as Dr. Kweyemi has said. We also need the, what they call it, the high score, the score itself, the food, the color. So we're going to pick that up tonight. I may not decide to run some things. I'll send you the codes as well after today's encounter so that you can go through them. The way you can understand it, I'll also help you as well. So tomorrow, I think by tomorrow I should be done with whatever is running on my system. So that we'll go marathon class that tomorrow, so that we'll make sure that we get things done. So we can see here. So let's go to the codes and let's see. It's really slow tonight because of what is running in my background. And let's see. So the first thing we're looking at is we have gotten the snake, which I told you, the snake here. Let me make it in the presentation mode. So the snake here is a list. I told you that as that particular thing is moving, as the snake is moving and eating food, it's going to come up in form of a list. Those blocks of food that are adding up are in list kind of format. And also we need to, also if someone could actually observe that when we ate the food itself, when we ate the food, we saw that it changed to a particular random position. It moves in a random kind of setting. So what we are going to need, we are going to also import a module in Python known as the random module, which is going to say that anytime we eat this food, it should go to a random position, and we're going to code through that particular process as well. So the next thing we're going to, let's start with the model itself. So let's enter. So we're going to import random. We're going to import random. So you can see random here. So random. So those are the things we'll need for models itself. And let's go to the global variables now. Someone, Dr. Payme has said, let me enter here. Dr. Payme has said color. So I'm going to look at the food itself, the food and the food color. So let's go there and let's see what we can do from it. So food, the food is going to be what? Is going to be set to what? None for now, because we're going to update it inside the function that we need. And also we need the food color. We also need the food on this, let's use it as underscore color. So we need the food color, and we're going to set it to a string. We need to set it to a string because the color comes in form of the blue, all those kind of colors in form of what? A string. So we need to put in an empty string and decide to put it in an empty word string. So when we do that, the next thing we want to do right now is these particular colors that we are bringing in. Yes, we are putting it in a string, an empty string, but we want to assess these colors when it comes to, as we did for shapes. We can see here, as we did for shapes here, we added it into a dictionary that we can easily use what the keys itself to assess the values, the key and values. So you can see we call out 0 is going to give us what? Circle. That the circle is going to be used in the Python, the Turtle model, to bring out that particular circle inside of Turtle. So what we want to do right now is, in this particular game, we want to bring out the names of the colors in which you want to use for this particular word, this particular snake game. And if you check it out here, it is actually available here. Let me go and make this possible. So you can see here the colors that we want to use, which anytime we call it out, in this, every time we call the colors out, that is the name of this dictionary, we are going to add it to the, we're going to reference it to this word. We're going to append it inside this particular food color itself. Okay, you can decide to use that particularly to append to the food color itself, or you can decide to put it as the word, the snake head itself. You can see here everything is actually making a whole lot of sense. So you can see I can decide to just copy this. This is a dictionary. I can decide to copy this. This is a dictionary of key value pairs, and I can decide to fix it up here anywhere I want to fix it up here. Decide to say Control V. So we have the gold, all these colors, you can actually see them. You can just say total color names, you just bring it out and it will give you anyone you want to. Make sure that you follow the, don't come on at this particular point, instead of putting this thing, normal L, the lowercase L, you now put capital L, it's going to cause problem because at this particular point, the total model does not have those ones in capital letters, except there is a default kind of way of saying, okay, let me change that capital L to small l. It's very, very important that you do that as well. So also, what again do you think we need? We need this particular interface known as the score and the high score, so that we set the initial to be what? The initial to be what? To actually be what? 0, so that whenever the person starts the game, the initial score is going to be what? 0. So we can decide to say score equals to what? 0. enter. The next one we're going to look at is the high score. You need remember when we are playing a particular game, always have what we call the high score. So equals to what? 0. Okay. So far we're going to still add other things to it, no matter the issue comes in. So we're still going to add things to it anytime. I just want you to feel that you understand what you're actually doing when it comes to the snake variables itself. So the next one we're going to look at is the range, the X range and the Y range. This particular one might feel a little bit confusing, but this particular one is just trying to tell us, okay, uh, this thing that is moving on our screen, what are we doing with it? If it is coming in, if you're moving the snake head in the X direction, that is the left to right, what is actually going on our particular screen? We need to reference it according to the width of that particular screen, the width of that particular screen. And also, if you're looking at the Y range, we're going to reference what we want to do to the height of that particular screen. Okay. And also, anything we are doing also, we need to reference it to the total size. Remember when we're doing our project, I don't know where our total size came in here. Let's see, when we're trying to create the screen while this thing is running, the direction as it is running, it means that the Y was minus total size. I think we got up to this, we understood up to this level. So how do we create a range? By looking at the range of movement of that particular snake head will be what will be very dependent on this particular width and the total size. As it is moving left and right, it's also subtracting with the total size, which I wish I could actually have something that I could draw here. Let me try if I can get a drawing tool here. Let's see if these guys have drawing tool. Let's see more. I think they do not have any drawing tool. Let's see the apps. Okay, Board Connect, and I've never used this, but I wish I could. Maybe I'll try to find out in the next class because I really need to explain that particular X range for you. But what I'm just trying to tell you that as this particular thing is moving, we are looking at different the diameter at which it is moving from the top to down and the left to right. So as it is moving, the range at which we want it to move inside the screen, that's the snake head moving to get the food, is going to be what is going to be in form of what the radius. We need that particular radius of this particular X and Y. Remember, I told you that the diameter is divided. The first one will be the negative X, and the other one will be positive X. That's the pointing in the right direction and pointing in the left direction. So what we need now, we need a range that actually that is going to be in the form of a radius. So that's why we're going to say anytime we want to define a variable right now, maybe in the next class maybe I'll send a picture to it explaining it, or maybe I'll find a way to draw it so I'll be able to understand what I'm actually saying, because it's more of like looking at the screen itself and see how it actually moves. So we're going to create another variable for that, and it's going to be, let's see, let me go to the variable part and let me show you what it's going to be. And it's going to be a constant. So it's going to be X. Let me just go and copy and paste there because I've done it already. You just copy. So you can see something like this. Control C, and let's just paste it here. Okay, so you can see here what it means that the X range at which this particular thing wants to move, though we are not putting it exactly to the snake head, we want it to do what? It means that the total size that was originally what? 20 is going to be subtracted by the width and divided by what? 2 when it comes to the movement of this particular, like as if someone is just say, okay, let me just say something like this. Each of the movements of our what? Of our snake head, as it is moving in X direction, it also moving in the Y direction as well. So each of those steps, I can call it, okay, let me just say looking at the steps. Okay, so each of those steps, that's how we're actually calculating it in this particular concept. Don't worry, maybe as I'm putting the codes, the different functions, we'll get to understand it the more. It might get confusing at some point. Even at some point, it was confusing for me, but I actually found a way to maybe understood it better. Maybe when I draw it, you'll be able to get it. Or I'll send the drawing across board, explaining it to you, and so that you actually understand what we're actually doing. So now the next thing we looked at, let's go down to the code itself. And I remember in the last class we looked at when we're moving the snake head. When we're moving the snake head, we found out that even when we try to, if I run it now, it might take it a little time to load. Even when we move the snake head, we saw that even though we put it up and press down key again, it still went down. That is not how the snake game works. The snake game does not come down whenever it goes up. Before it comes down, it must go through left and down. Okay, so it doesn't just come down and change direction and goes down. No, we want it to do what? Turn to right or turn to left and come down. So that's how it was. Now that thing I also observed in the last this thing was more of like, if you go right, if you want to turn right, it will just turn right immediately. Just go to the opposite direction immediately. So that's what we're going to, just before we end, let's just fix that up and let's see how we can actually make that possible. So we're going to go to what they call it, the updates, the movement itself, the snake movement. And if anybody has an idea about what we should do, let me know. What do you think we should do? The set direction right and the different keyboard functions direction. Okay, what we did here, you can see here the setup directions for the set up direction, the set down direction, the set right direction. When we run our code, even if you have tried it out over there, you can see that anytime we did our snake game, left, if you turn, put it as right, by the time you click left arrow, it will go directly opposite, immediately without turning to any position. So that's how the snake game works, and we want to change that in a way that will actually make a whole lot of sense to us. So how can we fix that? If anybody has an idea, what do you think we should do? It's getting confusing. I know it's getting complex as well, but we'll find a way to make it simpler. So let me try and run this. Let me explain. Maybe you don't understand what I was trying to say. Let me just, if it's going to run, let me just see. Which it runs. Okay. You can see now as I'm pressing up, I'm pressing down, pressing up, it comes down directly, which is not what we want to do. This is not how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to go down, and if you want to go down now, you're supposed to go right and come down. If you want to go down, you're supposed to press left and down and come down. So this is what I'm trying to avoid. If you go up and come down, go up and come down. So you can see it's not what we actually want to do. Okay, so how can we fix that up? How can we fix that up? By doing what? By going to the set direction and change some things here. So what are we going to do? We're going to say, okay, if direction, that means anytime we are setting the up direction, if direction, we are using the up direction now, the first one, if direction is not down, okay, that means anytime anytime we say the direction is not down, it should do what? Go up. So if direction is not down, what should it do? It should do what? Go up always. Anytime we do what? Go up, it's actually going to do what? Go up, and it will not come down at all. So if direction, so what is the direction we're supposed to do? Not down. If direction not down, it means it must always do what? Go up. It must not what? The global direction must not do what? Must not do what? Go down. Okay? It must not do what? Go down. Okay? So we're going to say direction is not, is always like this, is not equals to what? Down. Okay? Remember we use double quotation, make space. It's not what? Down. Okay? So I'm supposed to use if. Sorry, it's supposed to be a condition. If direction is not down, what should it do? The direction should be what? Up. Okay. This particular code would actually solve the issue of what? The issue of what? Making sure that it doesn't do what? Come down. Now there's an error here. I've not put in what. There's an error in this particular code. What should I put somewhere? There should be something in front of if.
Colon.
A colon. Thank you very much. So there'll be a colon so that there will be this particular condition. If it's met, it means that we need to put this direction in this. Make sure that it is in this particular under this particular block of code. So I'm going to keep backspace so that it will be fixed up there. So if down, if not down, it means it should do what? It should actually do what? Go up. Okay. So anytime we just go press down, it will still be going up at this particular point in time. So that's the same thing you do for the rest. You do for the rest function that we have. So you do the same thing. If direction, let me just copy this. B and paste it here. So if direction, this one is the down. So this particular one, guys, it will be what? What will be here?
Up.
Up.
Up, fantastic. So, and this particular one, we need to make sure that it is what inside this block of code. So we press tab. The same thing here. Let's see here. Let me come down and put Control V. And this is the right direction. So that means this particular one will be left. And we must make sure that it is inside this particular block of code. So we press tab and you're okay. The next one is going to be the left, and we're going to put, let me enter, and we're going to Control V. And this particular one would be, this is left, so this particular one will be what? Right. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do, we need to put it, enter, and put it in what? In the tab position, so that it will, let me take it back so that it will be there. Fantastic. And let's try it out and see if it's working for us. Let's see if it's going to work for us. Okay. Oh, it's still slow. It's coming up. You can see. Oh, okay. We need to. Can see now. It's working very well. So let's take it down. See. Yeah, I'm trying to press up now. It's not working. I'm trying to press now. I want to press down. It's not working. So I need to go sideways and put it down. I try to put it right now. It's not working. I go up. So it's working perfectly for us right now. Okay. So you can see. If I try to go up, it's not working. So I move right. Try to press down. It's not working. I move left and I come down. So it's working perfectly for us. Okay. So that's what we wanted to do. And I think we'll just have to stop here for tonight because we'll continue like this. Okay, so let's just stop here tonight and let's just see how we can actually get it better tomorrow. I think by tomorrow, it will be done. Everything should at least slow down at some point, and we're able to continue with what we have to do. So that's what I can actually help you out today. And I think I will just send in the codes tonight. Maybe after the class, I will just send in the code. Just go through them and see how you actually, the ones you can actually understand, there's no problem. The ones you cannot understand, I'll also explain it as well so that you'll be able to run it from your end. And let's see how we can. I think this project has a whole lot of concept that we have taught so far in our Python course so far. So it's actually going to help you a lot, and it's a very beginner friendly and intermediate kind of project. So we need that as well. So if there are any questions, please ask your questions. Any questions, please ask. If there are any questions regarding what we have just built right now, look at especially this particular direction of up and down. If there are any questions, please ask. Any questions? No questions. I don't understand. Hey, hope all is well. Dr. Kwebe? I hope I'm even being heard. Emedio, are you with us?
Yes, there's no question. There's no question.
Okay.
I don't have any.
Okay. Any other person? Anybody that is confused on some particular concept that we have explained tonight? Okay.